The problem with the International Criminal Court is that the prosecutor has this independence. That's the problem. Contrast that with a national court, where prosecutors are not dependent, not independent. Prosecutors in the United States and in other countries are beholden to elected officials who are themselves beholden to the people. And so when prosecutors are overzealous or misspend resources or go after the wrong people or go after people who are politically important or politically sensitive, the political officials will put pressure on them. This is how domestic justice works. This is how military tribunals work. And this is the problem with the International Criminal Court, that the prosecutor and the judges simply have no incentive to take into account political realities, the political problem that, it may be best to forgo justice in this particular case in order to end the genocide. Right? Which is the usual pattern. That is, the usual pattern is that there's some kind of civil war. What we really need is to settle it so that there will be peace, and rigorous enforcement of international criminal law against the two sides are going to prevent peace, not advance it. So amnesties have to be issued. So this is the pattern both internationally and domestically, time after time after time. Even in Nuremberg, in Germany, this was the pattern. Ultimately, amnesties were issued because it was believed that if we really enforced the Nuremberg ideal against all the people who were complicit in the Nazi regime, Germany would never be a viable state. So everybody had to be amnesty, or most of, except for the worst people, had to be amnesty. So those sorts of decisions can be made by political leaders who have an interest in peace as well as justice. There's no particular reason to think this prosecutor who's told not to pursue a case if it's not in the interest of justice is going to have the right incentives to do that he's going to be sensitive to the interests of states. These are just independent people maximizing God knows what. So I think that's a serious problem.